Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I have been staring at this summer preview promo for Days of Our Lives for what feels like hours. And guys, it is a heavy one. It's about Chanel and Johnny and their baby. Their baby is coming early, and it is putting both Chanel and the baby in absolute terrifying danger. Let's just be real for a second. The writers are really putting this couple through the absolute ringer right now. Haven't they suffered enough? I mean, really. But here we are. Let's back up a bit and talk about how we got to this nightmare scenario. A few episodes ago, we saw Chanel and Johnny agonizing over her breast cancer diagnosis. Finding out you have cancer is horrific on its own, but finding out when you are pregnant, it's unimaginable. And they knew from the very start that this was going to be a high-risk pregnancy. They knew that. But adding malignant breast cancer to the mix just blew everything up. Chanel had to make this impossible choice about treatment. We saw her dragging her feet, terrified of what the radiation or the chemo would do to her unborn child. She even wanted to delay the treatment entirely until after the baby was born. Which, as a mother, you totally get. You want to protect your baby. But Johnny was terrified of losing her. And honestly, I was terrified for her too. But she finally made the brave choice to fight. The promo clearly shows that Chanel goes ahead and gets her port installed so she can begin her chemotherapy treatments. She is trying to save her own life so she can be there for her baby and for little Trey. But chemo is essentially poison. It's poison designed to kill the cancer, but it ravages the body. And doing that while pregnant, the risks are astronomical. Both premature labor and severe bleeding are recognized, documented risks associated with undergoing chemotherapy during pregnancy. And unfortunately, the Days writers are going straight for the worst case scenario. What were they thinking? Piling all this trauma onto one couple. The summer promo footage is just, it's chilling. It shows Chanel in a hospital bed at University Hospital, and she is bleeding. She is bleeding a lot, and she is so scared. You can see the sheer panic on her face, the absolute terror in her eyes, and Kayla Johnson is there. Kayla, who is usually the calmest, most composed doctor in the entire hospital, is visibly rattled. She is rushing to clear the room, pushing people out so she can work on Chanel. When you see Kayla panicking, you know things are incredibly dire. It's a full-blown medical emergency. It's just so unfair. And I just keep thinking about Johnny. Poor Johnny Dimera. He has been trying so hard to be the strong, supportive husband. He even stepped down from the CEO position at Dimera Enterprises just to be by Chanel's side. He wanted to shield her from all of EJ's toxic corporate drama and just focus on his family. And now he has to stand there in that hospital room, or probably out in the hallway because Kayla kicked him out, and watch the love of his life bleed while their unborn baby is in distress. It's just brutal. It is so brutal. What is he supposed to do? He is completely helpless. Johnny has always been a bit of a golden boy, trying to do the right thing, trying to build a better legacy than his father. And to see him broken like this, it's hard to watch. And then there is Paulina. Oh, Paulina. You know, she is going to absolutely lose her mind over this. A few weeks ago, Paulina was aggressively pushing Chanel to get a second opinion, refusing to just sit back and watch her daughter suffer. She even wanted Chanel to take EJ's untested Versavix drug instead of doing traditional radiation or chemo. Can you imagine? Thank God Chanel didn't take that drug, because we all know Dr. Rolf's miracle serum is failing and causing lethal side effects. Lexi is dying again because of it. If Chanel had taken that serum, she and the baby would probably be doomed. So maybe I'm being too harsh on Paulina for hovering because she just loves her daughter so much. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. She's a mother desperately trying to save her child. When Paulina finds out Chanel is bleeding and in premature labor, she is going to tear that hospital apart looking for answers. Thankfully, Johnny and Chanel do have a really strong support system around them. They aren't doing this alone. They have Paulina, they have Abe, they have Marlena, and they have little Trey Dimera. Trey is such a sweet little distraction for them right now. Having a baby in the house, celebrating his first birthday, it gives them a reason to smile amidst all this darkness. It reminds them of what they are fighting for. But Trey can only distract them so much when the reality of this new baby's premature birth is staring them right in the face. Because, let's talk about the baby. If Chanel is in premature labor, this baby is coming way, way too early. The promo heavily implies that the baby's going to be born prematurely. And that opens up a whole new horrific chapter of complications. We are talking about the NICU. We are talking about incubators, breathing tubes, underdeveloped lungs. The fans on social media are already freaking out, predicting that we are going to get a long, agonizing storyline where Johnny and Chanel just sit by a plastic box praying for their tiny baby to survive. It's a classic soap opera trope, the premature baby fighting for its life, but it never gets any easier to watch, especially when the mother is also fighting for her life at the exact same time. The combination of the hemorrhage, the chemotherapy, the cancer itself, and the premature labor poses severe, life-threatening risks to Chanel. She could bleed out. Her body's already weakened by the cancer and the chemo. How is she supposed to survive the trauma of a complicated premature birth? The writers have backed her into a corner where every single outcome looks terrifying. Will she have to make a choice between her life and the baby's life? Or will Johnny have to make that choice if Chanel loses consciousness? I honestly don't know if my heart can take it. Sometimes I zoom out and look at the bigger pattern of how Days writes these legacy couples. They always have to go through hell before they get their happy ending. Think about Sammy and EJ, or Marlena and John. The trauma is the crucible that forges the super couple. So maybe this horrific medical nightmare is just the writer's way of cementing Johnny and Chanel as the next great Salem super couple. If they can survive this, if Chanel beats the cancer and the baby survives the premature birth, they will be unbreakable. But getting there is going to be a long, dark, messy road. And let's not forget how this impacts the rest of the Dimera family. EJ is so wrapped up in his own twisted revenge plots, burying arsenic-laced pills and kidnapping Kristen, that he is completely failing as a father right now. When Johnny needs him the most, EJ is off playing mob boss. It's just classic EJ, isn't it? But Johnny isn't EJ. Johnny has a heart. Seeing Johnny pacing the waiting room, completely terrified that he might lose his wife and his child on the same day, is going to be a defining moment for his character. It's going to force him to realize what truly matters in life. It's not the Dimera shares, it's not the CEO chair, it's the people you love. I just hope Kayla knows what she's doing. I mean, of course she does, she's Kayla. But this is a highly specialized, incredibly dangerous situation. I wonder if Sarah Horton's going to jump in to help. Sarah was the one who ordered the mammogram and the biopsy in the first place, and she's been guiding them through this. But Sarah is so distracted right now with the whole tainted Carizial drug investigation and her messy feelings for Xander and Brady. I just hope Chanel gets the absolute best care possible, because this bleeding situation looks dire. Honestly, I'm just exhausted thinking about it. I've been covering the show for a while, and sometimes these storylines just hit you right in the gut. You watch these characters grow up, you root for them, and then boom, tragedy strikes. I guess that's why we watch, right? For the drama, the tears, the eventual triumphs. But right now it's just scary. Who actually believes this is going to end well without some major, major heartbreak along the way? I certainly don't. We are going to have to brace ourselves for some really tough episodes coming up. Make sure you guys have your tissues ready, because the Johnny and Chanel saga is about to get incredibly emotional. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think the baby will survive? Will Chanel pull through? I need to go step away from the screen for a bit before my head explodes from all these theories. I'll catch you guys in the next update.